Well, hello. Sorry I'm not with you here today. I'm home with a ill child, and you have a quiz tomorrow over this lovely 4.1 through 4.2 section. So what I'm going to do is go over some of the non-story problem sections to help you get ready for your quiz tomorrow. And then beginning of class tomorrow, we can go over the story problem type questions. So you will be getting a review today after this short little review video where you get to work on some questions. And then I will post the answers on Google Classroom after school so you can check your work tonight and then come ready with questions at the beginning of class tomorrow before we take our quiz. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and look at the first type of question you will see on your quiz tomorrow. So here we go. You're going to be given two graphs on your quiz tomorrow that will say write an equation of the line in slope-intercept form. So here's an example here. So the first thing we want to know is if we're doing slope-intercept form, first, can we find our slope? So let's go ahead and find our slope here. So I'll write M for slope. Actually, I'll make it where it's a little easier to see. Let's go ahead and use a different color here, M. And I can go up 1, 2, 3. So I go up 3. And then I go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3 over 6, which is a 1/2. So there's my slope. Next, can I find the intercept? Now, it looks like it goes exactly between -1 and -2, but I can't tell you for sure if that's really a -1.5 or if it's like -1 1/3. So what we're going to do is find 2 points here. Okay, let's go ahead and find 2 points. This first point here is the point -1, 2, 3, -3, comma, -1, 2, 3, -3. This next point is the point 3, comma, 0. So I can use either of those points and go to our point slope form. So let's say we choose the 3, 0. I'm going to put y minus my y value, which is 0, equals the slope, which is 1/2, times x minus my x value, which is 3. Now let's go ahead and clean this up. Y minus 0 just stays y, equals distributive property gives me 1/2 x minus, this is going to give me 3/2, also known as -1.5. So that was -1.5, but we don't want to assume those fractions or decimals, okay? We only want to guarantee the ones that actually land right on those hash marks. So y equals 1/2 x minus 3/2, or minus 1.5. All right, then you're going to be with a section that's 4 questions after this that will give you the slope and either the intercept or a slope and a point. So let's see what they look like. So if I give you where it says the word slope and the word y-intercept, and you have to put this in slope-intercept form, just know that your slope is m, your y-intercept is your b, and we're going into y equals mx plus b. So this equation would give me y equals 8x plus 2. Next, we have an m and we have a b. Even though the b is first in my information, don't forget, if you need to, write down y equals mx plus b. So we get y equals the m, which is -5, times x, and the b is 3/4. So y equals -5x plus 3/4. Now, if at any point you find this video helpful in reviewing for your quiz, know that this is posted on Google Classroom, so you can go back and watch it again tonight if you would like. All right, now I have a point and a slope. So we're going to go back into our point slope form. I'm going to write this up here. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Also, how I say it is y minus your y value equals your slope times x minus your x value. So let's go ahead and fill this in. Y minus our y value, which is -6, equals your slope, which is 3/2, times x minus your x value here, which is 2. Then we're going to go ahead and make 2 negatives a plus here, so we're left with y plus 6 equals 3/2 x minus 3. subtract 6 from both sides, and you're left with y equals 3 halves x minus 9. Okay, y equals 3 halves x minus 9. I'm going to make this where it's hopefully a little bit easier for you to see it. There we go. Zoomed out just a little bit. So I was given a point and given a slope, so that's point slope form. Don't forget, if I ever told you that the slope was 0, plug in a 0. If I said the slope wasn't undefined, hopefully you know that that's just an x equals a number. But we shouldn't really have any of those to worry about. At least I hope not. All right. Sorry, excuse me. Then you're going to be given a section here where you're going to have 3 questions where 2 of the 3 are going to be giving you 2 points and one of them will be in function notation. So again, when you're given 2 points, the first thing we need to do is find our slope. So we're going to go right into our slope template. So that's a fraction bar, 2 subtraction signs, y value on top, x on bottom, y value on top, x on bottom. I made this one up earlier, so don't know how well it's going to work out, but let's see what we get. 8 minus 6 is 2. 4 minus 5 is negative 1. That's a slope of negative 2. So there's our m. Pick a point. I like 5 and 6 for some reason. I don't know why. Let's go into our point slope form. So y minus our y value, which is 6, equals your slope, which is negative 2, times x minus your x value here, which is 5. Now, let's go ahead and clean this up. We get y minus 6 equals negative 2x plus 10. Add 6 to both sides, and you're left with y equals negative 2x plus 16. And y equals negative 2x plus 16. All right, the last non-story problem question is function notation. Writing the equation here, and it says point slope form on your quiz, but I'm still going to tell you to do it in slope intercept form, okay? So let's go ahead and first realize this is the point 0, 3. This next one is the point 4, 8. So the first thing we need to do is find our slope. Fraction bar, 2 subtraction signs, y on top, x on bottom, y on top, x on bottom. And this is going to give me negative 5 over negative 4, which is going to give me a slope of 5/4. Now, from here, I could do point slope form. I can pick either of these points. But it doesn't mean this will happen on the quiz. But notice this point right here has a 0 in the x spot. When when this happened, this is a y-intercept. So our y-intercept is the number 3. So I can go right into y equals m, which is 5/4, x plus your y-intercept, which is a 3. There is my equation. All right. Now, you had some story problems that were due today. There were 3 questions. I'm just going to quickly show you some answers and go over them for you. We'll see how this works. I'm trying to do this on my iPad here, so I'm going to switch to another sheet here, go to a blank page. All right. So here is the assignment from the other day. What I did is I noticed that in the first question, 4 was being related to 2,700 and 7 was being related to 2,100. So I wrote those as 2 ordered pairs, found the slope between those two, which you can see right here, was negative 200. I picked a point, which was the 4 comma 2,700, used my point slope form. When I solved, I got y equals negative 200x plus 35. And it asks for when will he reach his goal of 1,500 calories. Calories is in the y position, so I plugged in 1,500 for y, solved for x and got 10, so that'd be 10 days. And then the next part says how many calories was he consuming after 6 weeks. So what I did is I put in 6 for x, so negative 200 times 6 plus 3,500 was 2,300. All right, and then question number 2, they said rain is falling at a rate of 8 millimeters per hour. So falling means it's 8 per hour would be a slope. And it's not negative because rain is going to accumulate in this situation because we talk about a rain gauge. And then they're relating the number 6 with 60 millimeters of rain. So that's the point 6 comma 60. So I used my slope of 8, my point of 6 comma 60 went into my point slope form right here and got y equals 8x plus 12. And I plugged in 8 for my hours, which is the x. I know that because hours was in my x position up here. And 8 times 8 plus 12 is 76, and that should be millimeters of rain. All right, let's do the back side here. Question number 3. So here's question number 3. A veterinary technician has a starting salary. Starting means your y-intercept. So your y-intercept is 17,250, and then receives a raise of $750 per year. That per year means it's a slope. So 750x plus 17,250. That would be your slope intercept form here. How much money after 25 years? 750 times 25 plus 17,250 is $36,000. All right. I hope that was pretty good for you. And if you have any questions, you can ask me tomorrow before your quiz. So make me proud. Do a really good job of working diligently and quietly while you work on this review for the rest of class. And whatever's not finished is homework. And I will see you all tomorrow.